But that said racism, America try not to see what it trying to.
They still trying not to see.
Right.
This is crazy.
Yes, sir. That was 1992.
It's like deja vu.
Yes, sir. These some of the black men that was killed back then.
Oh, so these people were killed too?
Yeah.
Kind of just like the way they were killed today?
Exactly right.
Wow.
Time can heal wounds, and we still got all this stuff down. Just seen about the material here. Fight for better health care. That's what we're doing right now.
Right today.
Yes, sir. Right, coming up hate.
Wow. This is in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said.
And this is the 80s.
Yeah, everything I got in here is all civil rights. I came by, they retired about the same time. That, hey, Primo. And Primo just sitting there shaking his hand. He said, "Get on your knees." And people, you know how football, it wasn't how people in the bleachers there.
Yeah.
And he said, "Get on your knees." He said, "Primo, don't start that now." I said, "Get on your knees." That white man was trembling. He got down on his knees. And Primo said, "Now that's how you greet a man." Boy, I know he was calling him some names after him, boy. Yes, sir. But he had a handshake. Did anybody want to shake his hand?
Who was that, Primo?
Yeah, that man was strong, buddy.
Yeah, he was. He did my first haircut, man. My very first haircut. Yeah, my very first haircut.
That way I was just make my eyes run water sometimes. I gotta get some new glasses. I had these 5. I just use them to read. But
Yeah.
But I can see. Okay.
Well, yeah, you ready?
Yeah. So you should just look at that one now. Right
Nah, you look. We there and we there. So that'll be the close up one. So like it'll look kind of like when you get a close up on you. Mm-hmm. It'll look like that in the corner, and then we'll switch back and forth.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, we'll make it look good.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. But yeah, so let's get started. So, yeah, it's your boy Chad Rob. We back, baby. Hey, so this is the hashtag iAMWHOiAM podcast. This is episode 46. And I have a really special guest today. It feels like home here at we came to his house to shoot the podcast. Reminds me a lot of my granddaddy, man. It's really fulfilling me, man, to do this one because it means a lot to me because there's so many stories that us as young black men we take for granted because we didn't really do the real leg work to even get to the point where we're at, and now that's pretty much been said. Now it's not all peaches and cream or anything yet, but we've come so far, and it's nice to look at where you came from to see how far you've come, and then to see where you need to go. But anyway, I'm gonna let this gentleman introduce himself to the audience, if you don't mind, sir.
Okay, I'm Dan McCord Jr. I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, but I was born in Selma, Alabama in 1948. And my parents moved to Mobile, Alabama, and I'm the oldest out of 7 kids. I graduated from Central High School in 1968, and I joined the NAACP right after high school. And I was the youngest thing on the NAACP executive board, along with Alex Herman. And wasn't nobody young people joining the NAACP, but we seen so much stuff going on in the states and everything, so we just kind of wanted to, to make a difference. We young, right out of high school there, so we tried to do what we could, but over the period of time there, my main objective was wanted to be a Black Panther. And I wasn't violent. It's just that I just want to, I just admire what they were doing for the community and standing up as black men there. So,
yes, sir.
We had a lady that came down to Mobile, lived in Milwaukee, and they lived in the back of us there. Her mother did, and so she came down, and she had some sons that were Black Panthers. And so she said, well, we want to recruit some guys here from Mobile and go back with us. They had a station wagon, I'll never forget it there. And so I was excited, and I told a couple other guys there, but we walk around with jean jackets. We didn't have no leather jackets because we could not afford them. So we had jean jackets and little old Tams, a button down, what you call a bebop cap. We had one of them pulled to the side of the head there, and the jean jacket, we didn't have but two, so we swapped them up. You wear one a couple of days, I wear one, and so, but we all wanted to be Black Panthers because we seen what they were doing, and it was just one of those things that that was my desire. So my mom told me, she said, "No, you my oldest child, so you can't go nowhere. So you need to stay home with mom." And then I'm glad I did, because I went on to do other things. I got drafted into the Army in 1971, and I stayed 2 years and some months in the Army, and I got out the Army. And during that time, it was a little hard. I had a wife and 2 kids at that time.
So so take me back to Selma real quick.
Okay.
So you said you were born in Selma?
Yeah, I was born in Selma, Alabama, right there below the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Selma was huge in the Civil War. So were you there around that time?
No, my parents, they moved to Mobile when I was young.
Okay.
Yeah, but they went to I went from Selma to Bessemer, Alabama.
Okay.
And then to Mobile.
Okay.
What brought on? I was young.
Yes, sir.
That's where I ended at that. But anyway.
So talk to me about growing up in Alabama then.
Okay.
So what was it like growing up in Alabama?
Well,
because I've heard a lot of different stories. Some good, some bad.
I got the truth.
Yeah. That's why we're here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got the truth there. I remember the very first time I was called the N-word. My sister and I, we was at the square downtown called Bienville Square. And my mom, it was cold. And back then they had Santa Claus would come, and be there. The black kids on one side, the white kids on the other side, and they had ropes. They didn't have a barricade like they have now. So white kids roped off here and the black kids roped off there. And during that time, they had the color fountain, water fountain, and white on it, and white bathroom and stuff like that.
Well, hold on before you keep going. So explain to me that, because my granddad used to talk to me about that same thing. People in the audience may not know what you mean by like a color fountain color water and
Well, what they had the white water fountain. It was a water fountain like had cold water to it. And then right about a foot and a half over, they had a little faucet you just turn up and water shoot up.
Oh.
Yeah. And so
okay.
That's what we did. And then the bathroom was, where they had it sectioned off there, colored and white, And they had them everywhere at the bus stations, and they was all over Alabama at that time.
I understand.
Yeah, and so the very first time that we went there was 1955, 56. I believe it was 1956. We went down to see Santa Claus, cold, and so Santa Claus would talk to the little white kids, and he'd let them sit on the lap, and he'll say, "Ho, ho, ho, little boy, little girl, what you want for Christmas?" And they'll tell them blah, 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 what they wanted.
Yes, sir.
And then they'll get to us there. We standing in line out, time to come up. And, "What you want, boy? What you want, girl?" And my sister, "I want this, I want a doll." I said, "I want a train set, a dump truck, all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so he had a big old croaker sack, a candy, peppermint candy. And he tell the little white kid, get what you want, get what you want. So they were sticking their hands in the croaker sack, getting all the candy they want. All right, when it got to us, we got ready to put our hand into the croaker sack, He said, "Nigga, don't get that can out and get it off the ground." That's exact words. So
yes, sir. I believe it too.
Real.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
And so with that, my mom, oh boy, she was furious, and she said, "Don't pick that up. We crying. We want some peppermint candy."
Yes, sir.
You know. So she said, "When we get back to the store, I'm going to get some candy." So we living in downtown Mobile, not that far, you know.
So I don't mean to cut you off. So it's funny you say peppermint candy. So I grew up with my grandparents. My grandparents raised me, and that was the only candy that we had, and we had bags on bags on bags of peppermint. And even to this day, if I go to a restaurant and I eat a meal and they have peppermints, I don't take just one or two peppermints. I stick my whole. I almost take two hands to grab all the peppermints, and I don't even know nothing about that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, growing up with peppermints, I'm like, I need that many to do what. So that's just crazy. But I didn't mean to cut you off, man. That's good to hear that, because now I know where that came from.
Right. And so we walked on home while we was mad, and so we got to the little corner store, and went in there, and my mom got us a peppermint stick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about that big around. They ain't called but a nickel and about that long. You can suck on that thing for a whole week. You can put in an orange or all like that.
Yes, sir. So, yes, sir.
But that was the first time I ever heard the N-word and being called that. And I never forget it. Never. I tell people often there, you know, about it. And so during that time, as I got on up, we went to segregated schools back then.
Oh, okay.
School wasn't integrated.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we had around about 15 all-black high schools from the grade 10, 11, and 12th grade, and we had about 20-some high schools was all white. So at that time in the 60s, Mobile County was the biggest school county in the state of Alabama.
Okay.
So we had approximately 65,000 kids in high school.
Wow.
And when I graduated from high school, we probably had about 300 or 400 to graduate, just in my class.
Okay.
And the schools what we had, they was great schools there. We had shop, woodwork, electronics. We had what you call distributed education, and distributed education is where you go to school in the morning, then you leave to go to a job. They train you.
Yes, sir.
So I got a job working at a clothing store downtown Mobile called Stein's.
Okay.
They hired me as a porter to wash windows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so but on the weekend, they like on a Friday and a Saturday, I had to wear a shirt and tie. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they kind of had me to be a salesman, but basically they had me to watch shoplifters.
Yeah. Well, it may be a little better than washing windows.
Yeah. But anyway, I did get paid a little commission, you know, for from whatever I sell.
Yes, sir.
And there was another black salesman in there named McCord Jr, and he was something like the assistant manager.
Oh, as a black man.
Yeah.
What year is this?
In 1967, 68.
Okay.
69.
So how does that link up with like integration, like civil rights movement?
Okay.
What's the timeline with that?
Well, all that time was right in there, and we knew that we just weren't getting treated right.
Gotcha.
And like when I was downtown, we had Woolworks and W.T. Grant.
Okay.
W.T. Grant was another store like Woolworks.
Okay.
And at the counter, Woolworks had a little sit-down cafeteria, but the whites gonna sit there.
Gotcha.
Blacks just come in and stand in line and go to the little side bar there.
Gotcha.
And they'll wipe your thing out, and you just stand up till they fix your hot dog or grilled cheese.
So my granddaddy used to always say, ham and cheese walking.
Ham and cheese walking.
That's okay.
That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, that means you gotta go. You
gotta go. That's right.
Okay.
We did a little. They was sitting in restaurants, and they didn't want to move, and we had some people who was kind of hard headed like me.
Yeah.
And that particular day, I had a few dollars in my pocket, $20.
Okay.
And I wanted a good meal, and so I went there and sit down, and they came over and looked at me. Boy, you know where you're supposed to be at. Now I'm 18, 19 years old. I still don't want to be called no boy.
Right.
And I said, I'm not gonna move. By that time, here come two other guys work downtown. They sitting in the booth with me. Each one of them got a boot. So that was 3 black men at a boot. Then they called the manager over there. And he looked at us, he shook his head. He said, now y'all boys know y'all ain't got no business being in here like that. You supposed to be over there. And we just sit there. And the lady already took our order. When she came in, she dropped the plate, you know. It didn't break, you know, and gave me mine, and I forgot what the other guys got there, you know. And I was nervous.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were gonna call police or whatever it might need to be.
So nervous about the police back then. What was it like to be an 18-year-old black male and get encountered with the police back then? What kind of experience is that?
Well, I never really had any.
Okay,
because
good.
You know, I kept myself, you know, I was working downtown. And,
Okay.
And a lot of folks liked me because I was a salesman.
Gotcha.
And I did window dressing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so when some high fashion come in, like suits, Italian knit shirts, when they come in, I would dress the window with the mannequin.
Gotcha.
And so the other black guy, George Williams, he showed me how to do it. You get your suit, how you put it on the mannequin, put your shirt and tie on, color match. Back then we had what you call silk and wool, shark skin, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. And the Italian knit shirts, they was the main seller we had there.
Gotcha.
And so we was a high fashion store. Well,
I didn't mean to cut you off. You can tell me though. You said you were scared about the police.
Yeah, like I said, it's just the idea of it. I know my mom couldn't come and get me out of jail about nothing like that. So I just trying to low key, but after I got my sandwich, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but I got it. And so when I got up, the other boys, they would put theirs in a napkin. They came on out too.
Yeah.
So they were all of us was gonna leave.
Yes, sir.
We didn't know what was gonna take place.
Right.
And so the word got around town that Dan and Walter and another guy, I can't call his name, we all test the waters.
Yes, sir.
And so my mom got the word, and she said, now, boy, you know you ain't got no business going to sit up in there at that table till I give you some food. And I said, yes, ma'am, Mama, I know. But something I had to do.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you can't go to jail for that stuff now. You know they arrest colored folks for that.
You can go to jail for eating your sandwich
That's right.
in the restaurant. That's it.
Yeah, Woolworths. That's right.
They were protesting not being able to go get their hair done during the quarantine.
That's right.
And and that is something. And now you talking to me about you could have went to jail for eating your meal at the restaurant.
That's right. If the manager had decided he wanted to call the police,
that was it.
You know, we rushed and like I said, they got theirs in a napkin there, and we was going out the door, so they went on back to their job, and I went back to mine. And so later on that evening, we met on the corner. We were talking about it, you know. And then my mom told me, she said, boy, she said, don't you do that no more. You do what you're supposed to do. I said, okay, Mom. And so all this here was just building up like wanted to be a Black Panther.
Right.
When the opportunity came, the lady came down from Milwaukee.
So before you tell me about that, so the Black Panthers back then, is it prestige like the Harlem Globetrotters were when I was a kid, or what it like? Okay.
No, they was militant. They stand for what was right.
Okay.
They was had guns and everything.
So was it like the Ku Klux Klan for black people? Would you compare them or?
No, they wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay. So they just wasn't just all white people gotta die. It's more so protection.
Right.
Okay.
And so But that was my thing, just to make sure people got treated right.
I understand.
And as of today, I still like for people to be treated right.
I get that. Me too.
But after I graduated high school, Steins transferred me to Birmingham. I got a little job. Well, went to school, a little college.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in Birmingham, Alabama Electronic College. And I didn't stay. I ain't know nothing about electronics. I wanted to get away from home.
Yeah.
But I had uncle and cousin lived in Birmingham and Bessemer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I would work at the clothing store through the weekdays, and then I would work on the weekend. You know, that's Friday evening and that Saturday. You know, getting a little extra commission there. Back then, people liked to wear the sycamore suits there, shark skin.
Yeah.
So I could see a man coming in looking. I said, "Sir," I said, "Can I help you today? I'm just looking," you know. And I done sized him up.
Yeah.
And if you're a big man or a little man, so I know to go to what we call a 38 size, 40 size, on up the line.
Yes,
there,
sir. Yes, sir.
And so when I told the manager, and he was from Italian guy from California. He came down from Stein Man Clothing Store. That was the name of the store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so
I think Steinmart's still around.
no, it ain't Steinmart. Stein.
Oh, so it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh,
They just sold men clothes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, high fashion stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they was pretty expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when I graduated, I told him I was gonna go to school in Birmingham, and so he said, "Well, let's see, can we have your job when you get there?" So he made some phone calls, and Stein's in Birmingham had 3 stores, and so I had to catch the bus on Mondays, you know, to one store. I washed the windows, and on Wednesday I go to another store, catch the bus. Back then the bus fare went about 35 cents there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, and it brought me right back to where I was staying at there, you know.
Yeah.
And so finally my mom seen my report card, well, whatever that little thing they had there. And she said, "Boy, you ain't doing nothing." She said, "You need to come on home." I caught the Greyhound bus, went back to Mobile, and that's when I kind of, you know, just doing a whole lot of little stuff with, you know, in the community there. We started a group called the Movers Social Club.
What kind of group?
It was social life. We barbecue.
Oh, okay.
And then we would throw darts.
Oh, okay.
Play horseshoes.
Yeah.
So we had some of the guys that working downtown.
Nice.
Yeah, and so we started paying dues like $5, and we would pay so much, and then at Christmas time we'll pick out a kid in the community and might buy a couple of tricycles, because we probably didn't have around about $300.
Right.
But we would, you know, do what we could.
Shoot, that's awesome. Yeah.
And so we that was a good thing there. And so finally then in 1970 I got drafted. And I went in the Army for 2 years, and during that time when I was in the Army, I was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I did my basic there, then went to Fort Knox, Kentucky, and I was like a infantry foot soldier, but they attached me to a armor unit.
Okay.
And so then we did little maneuvers in Fort Benjamin, Indiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we went there for a couple of maneuvers like.
So you still in the South though?
Indiana, no. You
still kind of north in
Indiana?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah, cause see, Kentucky, Fort Campbell, Kentucky is where I did the basic, and then Fort Knox is where I did my regular.
Okay. So you inching.
Right.
Okay.
The only time we went to Indiana was just to do a couple little maneuvers out in the field, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So could you tell the difference between how you were being treated in Kentucky and Indiana, or was it about the same?
Well, we went in Indiana just for that 2 weeks at a time.
2 weeks. Okay.
when I were in Fort Knox there, it was a little bit, you had buddies from everywhere. That's what I like about the military. And I tell people now, I think there's two things a man ought to be in the military and be married.
Oh, okay.
Them two things make a man out you. Don't nothing make a man out.
Yeah,
That's
mine.
I
agree.
Because it changed my thinking when I got in the military to be humble, and know how to mingle with other guys come from all over the country and everything. And so I have friends today that we chat Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, nice.
That's the only time we chat. Super Bowl Sunday there.
Yeah.
And regardless who playing. I say, hey, what's up, bro? Hey man, who you like? Blah, blah, and so we do that and everything now, but most of them is dead out, like now that some sick and everything. But I was blessed to right after getting out. Well, I did have another experience when I got out there. I couldn't really find no job.
Oh.
I could have the clothing store. They already had changed the name, and it was something else there.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to the Salvation Army and the United Fund, and both of them told me we don't serve your kind here.
And it's back in Mobile. Okay.
Yeah, this in 1973 now.
Okay.
Yeah, I done got out the Army now.
Yeah.
And boy, that hurted me so bad, tell me they couldn't serve me.
Right.
I didn't want but a few dollars or however they did, whatever they gonna give me,
Right.
And so finally the guy called me up, said, Dan, said they're taking application at the Lumino plant. That's what they call the Lumino plant.
Oh, okay.
It was Alcoa, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so when I got out, when I went to the interview, I got there around about 5 that morning. There was about 300 people in line.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so that.
So I got a question. So the plant was recruiting. How many plants were there? Alcoa plants were there in the United States at that time?
At that time, I didn't know one.
Oh, okay. And where was
that?
it?
That was in Mobile.
Okay, so there was one in Mobile. Okay.
We was a bauxite refinery.
Gotcha.
And so we grind up the bauxite that came in from overseas.
Gotcha.
And once it came in, then we produced alumini, and they would ship it to, put in box cars and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And ship it to here in Tennessee, which I wasn't doing that part. I grind up the dirt, alumini. I was working on the tunnel on the ground, like.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so I did that,
Okay.
But so then when they shut the plant down, they were saying recycling is what caused the plant shut down, because Tennessee operation had 3 plants: the North plant, the West plant, the South plant.
Oh.
And so before Waiter Union was set up there, you have to be if you're laid off work before another plant could hire people off the street, they had to transfer you. So we got about 50, 65 of us transferred from Mobile up here.
Right.
And this was in, like I said, 1983.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1983.
Yeah, and that was when I was born.
Oh man, how about that? Well, I've been there since 1983.
Wow.
Yeah, but during that time, in 1981, I remember I got off working graveyard shift.
So in 81, you were still in Mobile?
Mobile, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I got off work that morning, and I heard a lot of sirens, and being those, I just want to follow, see what's going on.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and so I followed them, and it wasn't that far from, it was all in the community of Mobile there.
Yes, sir.
And I followed them, and we didn't have the barricades tape they have now, they just had ropes there and everything like that.
Oh, so they didn't do like the yellow tape stuff
they didn't have.
Oh, okay.
And so they they say a man hanging in the tree, and everybody was just running. You know, people just parking their cars, everyone just running.
So hold on. So 81.
Yeah.
I was born in 83.
This shit happened in March.
So this 81, and there was a man hanging in Alabama in 81.
Yeah, his name was Michael Jr. That was his name. And two white guys kidnapped him. He was getting off work. And everybody got a different story, but they said that they asked him, did they know where something was? Then they pushed him in the car, and then they took him somewhere there. They said what we call over the bay, you know, across the river like.
Okay.
And they brought him back sometime through that night, that morning, and they hung him in the tree.
Wow.
And people were running, and it was today. I still can remember it. This is him, Michael Jr. And everywhere I go, I tell people about this, and I show them the picture. I said, that's the reason I probably thought I wanted to be a Ku Klux Klan, because, I mean, not a Ku, but a Panther.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
But,
wow.
Yeah, so as of today, I can still see this stuff going on. You know, just here recently, they said it was a hanging in California.
Yeah,
and
that's supposed to be a blue state.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. And so that to see somebody the way they're getting killed now, you know, it just didn't, you know, that's just kind of upset me. I'm a civil rights man, because during that time in the 70s and 80s, we had I got a chance to meet Jesse Jackson, John Lewis. They all came down to yeah. We had a big protest, you know, and they didn't want us to use the auditorium, the Mobile Municipal Auditorium. They had just built that, and they had what you call the American Junior Miss Pageant, and it was all whites, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't have no blacks in it at that time there, you know, and so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, James Brown was supposed to be performance, and so that would
James Brown?
Yeah, he supposed to be performance.
Have you ever seen him live?
Oh yeah.
Bad man.
Yeah, 3 or 4. I was doing a split too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing all that, but so during that time, I got a chance to meet Rap Brown and Stokely Carmichael.
Okay.
And they was the militant.
Oh,
okay. They was the militant, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but at that time, everybody was together, you know, just like you got some people today like Al Sharpton and them, how they get groups in like that. So that's how we got the chance. I got a chance to sit with Jesse and them. Now I met John Lewis a couple other times. One time in Atlantic City, he spoke to United Steelworkers Civil Rights Convention, and I was a chairman of the Civil Rights Committee when I was working in North Carolina. And
so did you go? So was North Carolina after
Tennessee?
After Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened after? And I come here and I started working day after Labor Day, 1983.
Okay.
And so we built the new rolling mill they had, you know, the big tall building.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was in CB&G construction, and I did a lot of stuff, you know, tearing down stuff.
Yeah.
And I helped, you know, a little bit on that, you know.
Yes, sir.
And then when they got that rolling, going good, they let off about 300 or 400 people, maybe 500 people. So I was in that number, being the youngest one at this plant, you know.
Yeah.
And so they had 3 plants. They had the West plant, the North plant, and the South plant. And I worked at all 3 of them because I was an extra employee.
And that's here in Alcoa, Tennessee.
Right,
Okay.
And so when they laid off everybody, I stayed out work for a year. Then they transferred me to North Carolina.
So why were layoffs happening back then, though?
Well, when they built the rolling mill, that cut a lot of jobs.
Gotcha, because the machine doing the work.
Right, robot.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I believe we had around about 5,000 workers here at all 3 plants together there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so So once they got it going and everything, there, they laid off around about 200 people.
Okay.
So that put a transfer in to go to North Carolina, and I commute for 9 years.
From Tennessee to North Carolina.
Weekends, vacation time.
Wow. How long was your commute, your drive?
The plant was between Charlotte, North Carolina, and Salisbury.
Oh, so you about 4 or 5 hours?
And 4 hours to give and take.
Yeah, give and take. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so I did that for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
And then they laid us off again, and I put a transfer in to go to Texas. So I worked at Punk Comfort in Texas for 2 years. And they called me back in 98, I believe it was in 1998. And this is where I've been till I retired, which I retired 5 years ago with 41 years of service.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't find a job like that now.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
So I was building my senior yard up.
Yeah.
And so during that time there, it was rough.
Yeah.
Because we used to drive from, we stayed in Victoria, Texas, but we had to drive 40 miles to the plant. We were commuting, together.
Yeah.
And so, I driven 2 times, and that was enough. And that was enough. Yeah. And next time, I flew probably about 4 more times.
Okay.
During that time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so I stayed until 2015, so that's when I retired.
Oh, okay.
41 years.
Wow.
And 3 months or something like that with seniority there. But I had
yeah.
to travel 4 different places: Alabama, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. Yeah. And so I got a chance to meet a lot of people, and I just kind of like to, once I got to Texas, I got to be, when I was in North Carolina, I got to be the chairman of the Civil Rights Committee. I had talked with your grandfather, Mr. Gilbert.
Yes, sir.
And he was telling me about, you seem like you might be a man that might want to take my job,
It sounds like him,
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
I get it honestly, I guess.
Yeah, I said, no. I said, I just like to be right.
Yeah.
And so at that time, when I got in North Carolina there, I got to be the chairman of the Civil Rights Committee. I was the chairman for 8 years. I was over there.
Oh, nice.
And they was making hangman nooses and stuff like that. So
making what now?
Hangman noose. Yeah, make a hangman noose.
What's that?
Okay, I have a picture here. I got 2 pictures here.
Oh, literally hanging nooses.
Yeah.
They were making that at the
Well, some of the guys, co-workers.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that was found outside the break room.
That was found outside the break room?
Yeah.
We'll get it. We'll zoom in.
Now this here was
I'm talking about.
This here was in North Carolina, plant Bay, North Carolina.
Wow.
And this hangman noose here was here at Tennessee operation. And
so that's in the break room.
Yeah, that was in the break room. And
man, that gave me chill bumps, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, it gave me chill bumps too from the experience I already seen the young man Michael hanging from the tree.
So talk to me a little bit about that, if you don't mind. Okay. So only thing I can really compare it to is I watched, like, I was there when my mom's died.
Right.
And I almost saw the last breath leave.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can really compare it to.
Right.
And that was, that was coming.
Right.
But it still was I can only imagine a hate crime murder.
Right, yeah. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, that you couldn't get that far, but you can see him hanging from the tree. So I never get that out of my mind. That's when I talk about it. That's when I carry this stuff now to let people know I have lived this and seen this with my own eyes. It ain't nothing that I saw on TV.
Right, because
You know?
because we watching it now on TV
That's
like
right.
it's almost like it's a movie.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, like I just
That's
watched
right.
The Man there down South Georgia. That one messed me up more so
Yeah.
than the cop.
Yeah.
They pull
Yeah.
up on him, shoot him with the shotgun. I see the adrenaline of him thinking he can still fight,
Yeah.
and then he drops.
Drop. That's
That
right.
would- that freaks me out.
It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
It did. And I remember when I first come up here, I used to jog a lot.
Oh wow!
And when I come out the army, that's what I used to run all over Mobile.
What year was this?
1973.
So
when I got out.
so I don't mean to.
Yeah,
but we was watching a movie from late '80s, early '90s, and they had some people jogging in it.
Right.
And I was laughing with my wife. I said, "There wasn't nobody jogging back in the
Yeah,
late
yeah.
'80s or early '90s."
Well, I'll give you experience on that. We had a park called Lions Park.
Okay.
And they did a lot of tennis playing over there, and they had a hospital across the street from there, the Providence Hospital. And when I get off in the morning time, I drop my kids off to school, then I go around and jog around.
Oh,
around
nice,
the park.
nice.
And the security guard called the police on me. And it ain't funny.
You gotta laugh to keep from crying sometimes. Yeah.
Police pull up, and I'm out of breath, and they said, "What you doing, boy?" I said, I got chills.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
hot
I
now,
understand. Yeah, I've been in
And they
that
said,
kind of
"Well,
situation.
what you doing, boy?" They said, "We got a call, said they had a color boy running around in circles out here, like he was going crazy." And I'm just jogging around because it's big.
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah. Like a track.
Yeah. And so I said, I'm just jogging. I said, I just got off of work. I dropped my kids off from school, and I come out here, I had on sweatbands, short pants, and everything.
Yeah.
And it was around about 5-6 miles from my house there.
Yeah.
I would choose different places to go jogging.
Yeah.
And like matter of fact, when I came up here, I was jogging. I used to go to Greenbelt.
Oh, okay.
I used to do
Yeah.
Greenbelt.
Yeah.
But then I moved out in Louisville out there, and I would run from Wheeler Road, and I was running down. I had been to the airport, turn around and come on back, and I heard something pop. I didn't know what it was, so they got a little embankment. I just kind of hit the ground, and I heard somebody laughing, some white boys. They throw the firecracker at me. Oh man, I stopped jogging down there.
Right.
Yeah, because I just didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand.
But I used to run all over Alcoa, when I first come up here. But then when I started went to North Carolina and started working in the pot rooms, that's a different story. Because I didn't set carbon, but I rebuild the pots.
Right.
And that's a terrible job also.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it because I work with some guys that we get in there, we do what we have to do, and get out the heat.
Yeah.
But during that time, like I said, I wasn't into civil rights right then.
Okay.
But I had an experience at the West plant. I doubled over that night and went in my area where I was working at. And so the supervisor said, "This is where you're going to be working at tonight." So I said, okay. And there was around about 8 white guys there. And so they had a bicycle. So I said, "Anybody mind if I get the bicycle?" They said, "No." Everybody had bicycles in the plant.
Right.
Well, I rode around to the break room there, and when I got, I came on and put it back. And on my next break, the bicycle was gone. I said, "Anybody seen the bicycle?" I said, "Anybody see my bike that I ride?"
Yeah.
No, I ain't seen that there. And they just looking all around. So one of them rolled his eyes up a little bit.
Wow.
They went up a little fire escape inside the building and hung my bicycle on a rope.
Wow.
And they said, "That it up there?" Woo. Lord have mercy. So I told the supervisor about it. And she said, "They just playing." you know.
So let me tell you about playing these days. If I was to do that these days,
oh man, no, it'd be a different story.
Yeah. If I walk in there and start playing, it's trouble. He done went crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he done lost his mind.
But done over the period of time, I had some experience there, you know. But
yeah, so like I see, and I'm gonna show everybody watching, you know, kind of what he's collected some civil rights issues over the years and stuff. So yeah, talk to me about a few more of those if you don't mind.
All right, then that's good enough there. I did a lot of writing when I was there, and I wrote a letter about it could be you as a union. You know, if you didn't have a union, basing on, you know, if you don't have a union, you know, something happened to you, you know, you can lose your job. But when you had a union, they always backing you up.
Gotcha.
So I joined the union right after I started. My first experience when I had to write somebody about what was going on with Alcoa, I wrote the letter to Clarence Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the Equal Employment Commissioner at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
I wrote him a letter about what was going on with the hangman noose and everything that.
Yes, sir.
And so this is my letter. So I explained to him exactly what, you know, how I felt like that. As a professional employees, Dan McCord Jr. had 15 years ahead at that time.
Yeah.
At Alcoa, Mobile, Alabama, Tennessee operation, Bay, North Carolina. I have felt isolated and frustrated and discouraged because the stuff that goes on in the plant.
Wow, man, that's crazy to me that was, you know, almost 30-something, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still basically the same thing.
Yeah. So, and I have a lot of letters that I wrote to, you know, about different things. Black on black crime. I had a letter about black on black crime there. And so I got a lot of stuff that I had wrote and everything there, but
and like I said, I'll show everybody so y'all can see it and take a look at it.
Over the period of years, I'd say around about 35 years, maybe 40 years, I would get newspaper articles. And this is nothing right here. I probably got enough to make 10 of these.
Wow.
And my wife keep telling me to throw that junk away. In my mind, ain't no junk.
Nah.
It's history.
Yeah.
If you look at some of that, some of the stuff that was going on is still going on.
Yeah.
And I got to, I remember reading one of those articles that said at 11 o'clock on a Sunday, it's the most segregated time in America.
11 o'clock on a Sunday. Help me understand that. Why 11 o'clock on a Sunday?
Whites at their church, black at their church.
11 o'clock a.m.
A.m., yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so now it's, you know,
it's still kind of segregated.
Oh yeah.
It's still black and white churches. People even still call it that.
Yeah, and I have went to several churches there.
Yeah.
And when you black, you walk in, you know, nobody greeting you. They looking at you, you know, well, what you doing up in here? You know, same way it was at Woodward.
Yeah.
You know, what you doing sitting up in here?
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, it's funny. I asked my granddaddy that question because he was really big into Christianity and the Lord and everything. And I asked him, I said, so the Church of Christ is what he was really into.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, well, so was the Church of Christ segregated back when you were dealing with all this? Because that would let me know right there off top if that was the proper place to be.
Right.
And he answered it pretty well. He said it was segregated. They would allow you in, but you had to still sit in the back. Yeah. So so that kind of turned me off of that whole thing. Because like if we the Lord, and then why am I in the back?
Amen.
So that threw me off. But I didn't mean to cut you off. Nothing, but,
that's all right. Yeah.
Hey, but so I got another question that since you've been kind of talking that so with dealing with all this seeing a man hanging, dealing with all this basically persecution, man, how were you able to navigate and stay focused and make it like to become over the civil rights board and to keep pushing to, you know, better yourself? Because a lot of times nowadays, the young people, me, younger, older, make excuses for hardships.
Yeah.
But it sounds like to me that you had
I did, yeah.
a tough time.
Well, I learned the scripture there. It said, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that believes and trusts in him." So I put my trust in God.
Okay.
Prayed about stuff, yeah. I'm traveling at nighttime, coming across the mountains. And that was my biggest worry. And so in 1990, I had wrote a letter to Phil Donahue, 60 Minutes, and I can't think of another little group there, but I was telling my wife about it. And my wife told me, she said, "Dan, you stop right now." She said, we just had a baby, and the baby needed a daddy, and I need a husband to help take care of him. So I just backed off, you know, from doing a whole lot of stuff like that, you know.
Yes, sir.
You know, cause she said you could be come across them mountains, somebody get behind you and push you right across whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Rockwood, they would never even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was worse going from Asheville, coming around through the mountain over Asheville.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the roads, you know, I came through ice, slick, the roads slick, frost up and everything. And I'm gonna tell you this here, I left Alabama in 1983. And since 1983, I have driven over 1 million miles. I ain't never had an accident, never had a breakdown, never, thank the Lord. 1 million miles I have driven.
Wow.
And never had an accident, never had a flat tire.
Put your faith in the Lord.
I trusted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is that man that believes and trusts in him." So I put my trust every time, even today when I get ready to hit the road.
Yeah.
Grab my wife, we gonna pray, you know.
Yeah.
And we didn't travel all over the country, and we ain't never had a breakdown still.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Lord has blessed me truly.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And I'll be 72 soon, my birthday. So I walk in this community here now.
Yeah.
2 miles every morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look vibrant, man. You look like you maintaining really well.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, I leave the house there. You know, I been to say my little prayer, and I never had no real bad experience there. You know.
Yeah.
People, I wave. You know, some might wave, some might give me another kind of hand.
Even today.
Yeah, some might give me another kind of hand.
Yeah.
There, you know. So I can't run like I used to. So I just pick up the speed. Yeah, but I believe I'm in a good neighborhood and everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, that I enjoy what I am because I tend to myself.
Yeah.
You know, but if anybody need a hand, I'm here to work.
Yes,
Give
sir.
them a hand.
Yes, sir.
You know, and when I meet the neighbors, I say, "Hey, I'm your neighbor. If you need me to help you to move something," I say, "I ain't no mechanic."
Yeah.
You know, I said, "But I can pass you a tool if you need something." There,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so with that, I just been, I've been blessed, to stay. So I just keep, I just believe that's my favorite scripture there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because like I said, a lot of, especially my generation and younger, man, it seems like you get pushed the wrong way, or you get called a name. You just ready to give up and quit, throw in the towel. You know what I'm saying? And,
well, like I said, I could go back when I first heard the word.
Yeah.
1956, 57.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's when that Santa Claus called me that name. There,
okay.
Yeah, and so since then it probably been 1,000 times. But I know how to deal with it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
as long as you don't get right in my face.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna invade your privacy. Don't invade mine.
Right.
Yeah, when you get too close to me, I'm gonna say you invade my privacy.
Yeah.
Step back.
Yeah.
So and I'm not gonna do that to no one. You know, cause I'm gonna walk around you.
Right.
Go ahead on about my business, do what I got to do.
Right.
But in today's time, it's seems like it's hard to, you would think, people when they gonna learn.
Yeah, and it's and that brings me to my, I don't want to keep you all night. I know it's getting late, but I do want to ask you this. So like growing up with my granddaddy, and I'm just speaking as our town, as a, you know, a small town,
Right.
because I know all his kids, as soon as they were able to graduate, they got out of here. You know what I'm saying? So if they was able to get away, they got on.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit. You know, like I said, I don't want to keep you all night.
Right.
But,
That's right. I ain't got no job.
Yeah, I do. But
Oh, that's right. I understand.
Yeah. Hey, but so talk to me about, like, because I'm sure back then, black people didn't have a whole lot.
Right.
So when you had something, you were even a more of a minority, because you know, not only do you have a job, a family, but you have things.
Right.
Nice clothes,
Right.
nice shoes,
Right.
a nice car, nice house. You know, so talk to me about how it was able, because I'm sure you were getting it on both ends
Right. Oh,
at
yeah.
that point. You was
Yeah.
getting it from your black people and your
Right.
white
Oh,
people.
yeah. Well, I wrote this article here in 1990.
Okay.
Racism is America's #1 social disease.
Wow.
Racism is America's #1 social disease. And the reason I say that, because you're not born with it. You're taught by someone else.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's your dad, your mom, I don't know.
Yeah.
Your schoolmates, your classmates. And I seen it with my son coming up there when he was in school high. You know, when they was like that, they all buddy spend the night at the house. And when they get about 12, 13 years old, you can't you can't spend the night no more at my house.
Wow.
You know, so
Yeah.
But I wrote this article, and I said that racism is alive well here around Blount County, Knox County, and in America. I wrote this in 1990.
Wow.
So it's still happening. And when I mean go to a bank, credit union, you go in a lending institution, they want to, when I got ready to get this house, I went to a thing, Bank East. They had a thing in the Maryville Times about how they could help you get a home, you know. And so I went that Saturday morning, and it was I was the only black, and it was the president of the bank, his daughter, a couple of lawyers, and 2 other couples. They was white. Now I've been in my house for 20 years before I moved here, out in Louisville out there.
Yeah.
So everybody explained what they wanted. So the white couple, one had been in their house 5 years. The other couple had been in an apartment for about 2 years. But they had some, you know, they was gonna buy a house.
Right.
So they seen the same article I seen in the real estate part of the paper.
I see what you're saying.
You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so that after they talked, so then when they got around to me, we had that big old long business table, you know, in the banks, how they had them executive table.
Yes, sir.
So when they got to me, they said, "Well, Dan, tell us about yourself." I said, "Okay." I said, "Let me start off like this." I said, "These 2 couples right here, I ain't trying to come down on them or anything. I don't know them, just met them. I don't know nobody in this office." I said, "But let me tell you what you'll do for me. Now, for each one of these couples here, you'll get them $250,000 to buy a house. When you come to me, you want to lend me $50,000 just to get a Cadillac."
Wow.
And I said that you'll check their credit from A, B, C. And when you get to my credit, you want to go from A to Z, checking my credit report. So that's how racism is. You know, they want to go by the book with a black man, but a white man, they'll say A, B, C, you know, and who knows what's us down the line.
Yeah.
But with a black man, so then the president of the bank, nice guy, he jumped up. He said, "Well, Miss McCord," he said, "you got your house any way you want to have a house at." He said, "We'll finance whatever you got there." Well, there's a real estate lady that was in there. She's from Remax there, real nice lady. And she said, "Well, Dan, what you need is a good real estate agent." I said, "Well, I had one. I seen a house in Andover subdivision now." And she said, "Oh, there's some nice houses out there." I said, "Yeah." And so when I was in Texas, I would come home and my wife would drive around and, you know, show me some houses.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So she said, "I like this neighborhood here."
Yeah.
And when I moved on this street, one but 9 houses. Now it's 18 houses.
Right. Yeah.
So they probably still have around about 100 houses they had built. Now they probably got about 300 houses. I don't know. You know. But anyway, so I told them, I said that you'll check my credit all the way. That's when the president said, well, Mr. McCord said, you get y'all anywhere. So I had went down to the house on the corner coming into the neighborhood. It was for sale. And it was a Central 21 sign there. So we called her laid up, and we met over here, and then she showed us the house. And she didn't ever call me back. I called her 5 times. They never called me back.
Yeah.
And my wife said, ain't that something? I said, yeah, it is, baby, you know, but if we living in this time like that. She said, well, when they gonna learn? But like I said, I made the statement at the bank. And when I told them, I said, but you know, this is what I call like redlining. Yeah. You know, you want to, certain people you want to pick out.
You know? No, I understand that.
And so, but that was the only experience I had. But then when I did, I had got a brochure that was outside, and it was 2 electricians putting up the lights outside. And so me and my son, I had picked him up from school, and he said, Dad, let's ride over here and see what kind of housing they got. And so we came on over here and asked the electrician, can I walk around? He said, yes, sir, you walk around. He said, we just electricians, we putting the lights up out here. So we came on in. He said, Papa, I like this here, you know. So we brought our wife over, my wife over, and we walked around, you know, and she said, I like it, you know. So the electrician said, well, it be open, you know, so many, you know, to whoever come in.
Right.
We don't lock nothing up because we don't know who else going to come in and do some work. And everything like that. And so I said, okay, so my wife came, we prayed on it right here in this house, right here in this room, right here. And God showed favor. And so it's been 13 years now.
Wow.
13 years.
Wow.
And, I had a nice home where I was at. I can't complain. But it had steps in it.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and the wife was tired of going up and down steps. I was getting tired. We were getting older. And so it's here on one level.
Yes, sir.
I drive in and get right the car, walk right on in. You know? I ain't got to go 1, 2, 3. Ain't got to do none of that. You know? So I was blessed and everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This picture right there, some white guy drew that into plant there, and he was talking about
this in 2011.
Yeah.
That was recent.
Yeah. This white guy was talking about a black guy was something there, and so they draw that picture and they put it up on this book bag, and so I wasn't supposed to have it. But somebody gave it to me. And so that's what it was. So we had a big thing about it. But they got it, and they got again. They saying the guy, whoever did it, he wants to be playing. You could tell it ain't professional. But you see what it got on there, KKK. Yeah. And so, you know, it's here. And like I said, I'm 72 years old. Soon be 72. I done seen racism all my life.
Right.
So now, when it's go in, I hope soon, because I got some grandkids. And I got twin boys. They 14 years old.
Wow.
They live in Atlanta. And the minute that happened, I called. Y'all at home? Everything good? Okay. That's all right. Keep it that way. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But I have a collection there of some of my civil rights stuff there.
And I'll like I said, I'll show everything, and we'll get it taken care of. And but yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, because like I said, a lot of people think that this is either new, or they don't realize like what you went through to get us, like, you know, because we the generation behind you, so you paved the way for us to have the opportunities as simple as I can go sit in any restaurant. Well, I say any restaurant, but you know, they ain't gonna lock me up for it. You know, you know, I can go sit down, have a burger, or have some fries, or order whatever I want, man. So I mean, it's just crazy to me that we still looking at color like that, man. Like in 2020, we still looking at color, man. Like a white man can kill a black man, and he not even go to jail. Black man kill a white man, he might get the death penalty.
That's exactly right. Well, if you go back, if you think about what our president said,
Yeah.
He said when he was running, he said that I could stand on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody once, and nothing never happened.
Well, he said grab him by his
Yeah, that's right. And to go back to that, I can remember when guy was running, black guy on the Republican running for.
I remember that the pizza guy, Carson. Was it him?
No. This guy was in Atlanta. He was a businessman, but he ran for president.
Yeah.
And he had 2 outside relationships during a period of time, and they brought that up on him, so he had to drop out the race.
Wow.
But here now, you got this man here talking about what you can do, and here it is.
It's okay, yeah.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but a black man, like I just said, you want to go by the book.
Yeah.
You want to check him out, everything he done did.
Yeah, I've always felt that being, black man, got a little bit of education.
Yeah.
Try to do the same thing, perform better at the bottom, on the ground level. I perform better, but the white man always seems to climb higher, making more and more and more, and I'm still
that's
it.
Well,
way.
you know, last Sunday before last day, they had the march rally here.
Yeah.
And I have marched in Mobile. I marched around about 8 or 9, 10 marches.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, in my lifetime. There.
Yeah.
And this was the second biggest one, because the one we had in Mobile, we had 7,000-8,000 people sometime.
Wow.
But this one here, I march in the Martin Luther King March every year. Been doing it for 10 or 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Every Monday I'm marching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And but to see those many peoples out in whites like that, I got chills.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I got chills.
It's a little different.
And I tell everybody, it's about 32 million blacks in America, give or take.
Yeah.
Probably 20,000 might be registered voters. Wow. Might be,
yeah.
And only 15. I mean, not 1,000, but 15 million. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but then it might be 10 or 12 million to come out. So, the reason I'm saying it's good people's, white people, because Obama wouldn't have ever won.
Yeah,
when he win by 100 million votes. You know, ain't no way.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. They are good white people.
Oh yeah. When I tell people all the time, when I came here, I came from Nashville, Tennessee, and I came to a school called Middle Settlements Elementary School.
Oh, yeah.
I went from being, you see a white person is strange, to being the white person.
Yeah.
And I had a great teacher. I like to call her name Miss Playo. Her husband was a Major League Baseball player. She didn't see color. When I came to that school, I don't know if she knew I was black and I was coming, but I never felt racism as far as like black. If anything, they didn't like me because I was treated a little bit more special. You see what I'm saying? So, there are some great white people. Like I tell people all the time, like anytime in the corporate world, only people that has ever helped me were white.
That's right.
Well,
I understand that. And I had a lot of folks, believe it or not, when I was a union man, I was the shop steward. And then I was the second black that ever served on the executive board here in Tennessee.
Wow.
At the union.
Yes, sir.
And I was on the executive board, and a lot of folks didn't like it, but they know I was fair. Yeah. So when it came to a grievance, they always want Dan McCord to be the man that lead the grievance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And because, I go there with facts. I don't go there with just called hearsay.
You're right.
Yeah, so because when you got facts and paperwork, then you can show yourself. Each stage of your grievance, you can do things to advance. Yeah. But if you just want to go up there and say something blah blah blah, no, I ain't no blah 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 man. I'm a man for facts.
Right.
Yes,
but yeah, so I hope y'all learned something from this. This was I hope it just lets you know that what's happening today, what the Bible say is nothing new under the sun, and it seems like it's a roller coaster.
That's right.
Highs and lows. It gets worse. It gets better. It gets worse. It gets better. So let's make a change as a human race. Let's try to make this better. Yes. And I would like to thank you for coming on here and blessing the podcast with this wisdom. It's a pleasure to have you. Definitely a pleasure.
Well, like I said, when I was a young boy, I would tell you a lie. But as I got older and experienced things and seen things, what I tell you is on the God truth.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
yes,
right.
sir. It just got to come because this is where I am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if I hadn't experienced it, I'll be telling you a lot.
Yeah.
But I'd experienced. I got paperwork to prove that like I said, I wrote Clarence Thomas,
Yeah.
He's a Supreme Court judge right now.
Yeah.
And so when I wrote him in 1989 about
Wow.
what was going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And like I said, that everything is experience.
Yeah.
Everything is experience. Yeah.
And that's all we can appreciate, because a lot of people, this is how they getting their information. It's through videos and podcasts and stuff like this. So for you to bless the podcast with this information is thank you.
Well, like I said, if you didn't had a little bit more time, I could bring some more stuff, man. But like
we'll
I said,
do it. We have to do it again.
Okay,
then sometime.
Part two.
Yes, sir.
Two,
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah,
we'll do it
So
again.
whatever's good for
Definitely.
you,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As Lord will, I'm able,
Yeah.
He give me strength every morning.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Hey, once I open my eyes, I realize it. Hey, I'm thanking him right then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And like he said, part 2, we'll come back and we'll get them answered for you. And don't forget, this is the hashtag iAMWHOiAM podcast. This is episode 46. And as always, I'll be back. Yeah.
Skip a couple of them.
Running from the black male in the paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get the other book there because, like I said, there's so much stuff in here.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll do it again.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Got this in a
King verdict moves. So what was the King verdict?
That was.
Is that when they didn't?
Right. I can't remember.
They didn't lock anybody up for his murder.
Right at that time. Yeah. So yeah. Now I got a little history now. This is Blount County owned history right here. This man here is Cato. He played black with Jackie, baseball with Jackie Robinson.
Oh, okay. In Black County.
Yeah, he got he finna donate his stuff to a Bed Culture Club there. Yeah, like I got, it's all kind of stuff in about racism.
Yeah, all Democrats can talk.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah. See, that with the soldiers here, you remember how they were standing guard in L.A. back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that.
Surely the KKK. That's crazy.
Yes.
I mean, it's like the same.
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Just in black and white on this. That's the only difference.
That's all it is. Yeah. Black culture, everything like that. It just. I got Malcolm X. They were talking about him now. Yeah. Like I said, next time,
Wow. Talk about some history.
We like I said, I got this much more stuff in a big old box container, and my wife told me to throw it away. I can't throw it away. I can't throw it away because this is history, and Bet Culture Center want me to donate it to them. So I told them once I get if I could get me a tape of it, I could kind of maybe get it to my grandkids, because my grandkids will never see this stuff.
Yeah.
That's